Okay, I'm back. As promised. I'm not sure if I made a hard promise yesterday, but I said it would be likely I stream today on lichess. Here I am. Happy Wednesday. 'Tis the day after Title Tuesday. Back for some daily Rapid Arena. Hopefully some fun, instructive rapid chess for the next 2.5 hours. Welcome to everyone who's here early in YouTube chat. Still waiting for the first person in Twitch chat. Oh, Father Dragon was just about to play a YouTube video, but yeah, YouTube live stream maybe a bit more timely. Welcome to those in Twitch chat as well. Got the Knights of Brights, or no, the Knights of Brights. Tickle Tack, Harkir, welcome back. Hello, hello. Hope everyone's doing well. I feel like I still have some opening requests to fulfill. I might experiment too with some new openings this stream.
Started watching you during COVID, and I'm still here. Thanks for all the great content.
Welcome back, J.M. Hoffman.
10,
so,
9,
what, approaching the 6-year anniversary?
7, 6, 5,
Good to see you.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, here we go. Looks like I'll play Ayukas. Let's play e4. We have a French. Oh, what do I want to play? Let's play b3. b3 is a fun line. No, Gotham Chess was into this line for a while. Might still be into it. It is a Gambit line.
I've followed Eric since he was a bachelor.
Wow. That's that might not actually be a super long time, but good to have you. Hello, hello. Yeah, we're going into basically this line where Black has declined the Gambit. This resembles more of an advanced variation against the French. And it does seem maybe a little bit ridiculous that this bishop is on b2, but it's actually nice in stabilizing the center. Welcome back to Brooms. Thanks again for the super chat. Requesting the Tennyson Gambit. I'll see what I can do. I think I want to play this first. Because there's cases after takes knight b4, I want the b1 square for the bishop. And the ideal setup involves castling f4, knight f3, maybe the eventual kingside attack. Here, I guess I play f4 right away. Maybe a little bit delicate given that if the f-file opens, I can't castle. But the knight is still ready to come here, so it should be okay. I was going to say that there are cases where you don't castle and you play h4 and the rook maybe wants to stay on h1, supporting the eventual like Greek gift ideas. But we'll see what Black does. Sometimes Black likes to close things down with f5. And then it's a more kind of long-term positional game. b6 is a sign that Black maybe wants to play this and this and trade off the bad bishop. I think I'm okay in allowing that. Let's start by castling. If a5, I could start with this, although it seems kind of wrong. There is this to attack this. And queen b1 as well. And there's also just knight f3, bishop a6, and then retreat the bishop. Allow the trade on e2. I think I'm okay with that. But this bishop is valuable to me. It's more valuable than this bishop. I'm playing bishop b1 because it keeps the c2 square available for the queen. Kind of drawn to rook f2 here. Unpinning the knight. Okay, black takes. Could take with queen or rook. Take with queen. And now there's some pressure against e6. I'm threatening to take and then take. Black did manage to trade off their worst minor piece, the sad French bishop. And this makes sense, trying to close things down. I have the bishop pair, but the bishops are in hibernation right now. So generally in the structure, the main idea is to go for g4. I think I'll just start with h3. I want to play g4 and then open the g file and or the diagonal. Ideally both. I have to be careful a little bit. Like if I play g4, takes, f4 could be an issue. So I might want to reposition the dark square bishop to e3. And there might be the idea of gambiting, like takes, and then I don't actually think I have any tactics there. Okay, so is it worth doing this? Probably not immediately, because if I play bishop c1, the bishop's not defended. And black has takes, and takes, and takes, and takes. If I play this, there's takes, and knight b4, which is kind of annoying. If I play this, there's this. So I'm thinking a3 here. It's kind of a slow move, but sometimes these like very close positions call for slow play, or at least you can afford to play slowly. And the main idea is just to prevent knight b4 so I can safely play this, not have to worry about this stuff. Eventually get this rook in, and then eventually reposition the bishop, and then long term, maybe the rook comes to g1 to support g4. Black is maybe going for g5. That's interesting. So again, if I play this, there's issues. Let's say I play this, g5, take, king h1. Okay. I mean, g5 is very double-edged. It might be a situation where we both try and attack on the same side. Like if black opens the g file, then black can maybe try and attack, but at the same time, I might want to still eventually play g4. And because I have more space in the center, I should be like better suited long term for the eventual attack. So we might see some slower play, like queen move, the knight move. h6, okay. So really signaling that g5 is on tap. So bishop c1 doesn't actually prevent g5. Or does it? Wait, bishop c1, g5, take. There's like some queen h5. Let's start with it. I don't think it made sense to like burn time calculating this because there's a chance black might not play it. Also calculate on my opponent's time. So g5 take, pawn takes. I want to exploit the idea of queen h5 check. I wonder if I have knight h4 there. So g5 take, knight, never mind. Okay, so let's put the bishop on e3. king on h2 looks fine. King h1 was also valid. Don't think there's a huge difference. So we have all of our pawns still. There's only been a single trade of knight for bishop. Okay, now g5. I guess this makes sense. So there's no venom anymore with queen h5 ideas. So let's identify the candidate moves. I could take. Not seeing a great follow-up after takes. g4 looks super spicy. It's also worth asking, like, does black want to play this? Maybe I should have played king h1 to allow for knight h2. Okay, let's calculate. g4. And g3 is also a consideration, actually. But g4. I think the biggest concern is takes, and I lose a pawn. But then I win a pawn. Rook's on g4. There's like this. But then the diagonal's open. Like one more time. g4. Take. Bishop's attacked. So I take. It looks a little bit shaky, but at the same time, I have more things on the king side. Rook g1 would be coming. Let's say queen g8. Rook g1. I think I'd do it. It's a risk. Time is close to level. Yeah, the king side's about to explode. And both kings are going to be more naked very soon. And generally, when you have such pawn tension, it favors a player whose pieces are better placed. So I would like to think my pieces are better than black's pieces currently. Hey, thank you for the raid. Joe Cozy. Welcome in. Hope you had a good stream. If you're just joining, this is my first game of the stream. Playing the daily Rapid Arena on lichess. And we have a very interesting, increasingly more complicated battle here. I mean, thankfully the next, like if black takes, next couple of moves could be relatively easy for me. We're seeing the power of this bishop. I'm very grateful. I decided to avoid the trade of light squared bishops and maintained it. The bishops are out of hibernation. So black can choose, I guess, whether to take the pawn. It's not easy to defend this. I guess there is bishop g5, bishop h4. So attacking the rook, if I take, I do not want to allow that. Play rook g2, saving the rook and pawn. Okay, so again, I have some options. I could take with bishop, kind of my first instinct, and then try and use the H file. Maybe I take with bishop and then play queen e3. And the problem for black is the rook and queen are tied down to defending the pawn. The rook doesn't have access to h7. And the knights have a very hard time doing anything. Like, these pawns do a really nice job of restricting both knights. And there's one potential maneuver, but if the knight ever comes to g6, it blocks the defense of the pawn. Now rook h1. King g3 as well. Not sure if it matters so much. Play king g3. Getting ready to double the rooks on the open file. Am I scared of this? I don't think so. This pawn is pretty irrelevant. If takes, I take on g5, and then, yeah, I'm okay losing my queenside pawns. So rook h5 looks nice. Or this, king f7. Oh, there's a tactic. Okay, let's start with this. Rook f4. Smelling tactics. Check. Now I can check. Take. I win material. Is there anything better, though? I lose d4. And this should be good enough. It will simplify. I would have liked to finish the attack with some mate, but very often when you're attacking, the attacks end up like liquidating into some winning endgame. Looking at this move, then e5 hangs. Oh, there's a funny line. This takes, and then I guess there's knight g6 check. Oh yeah, knight g6 is a fork. Okay, let's take. Should I trade rooks? There's this move. Still have to be careful with two knights on the board. But it's looking pretty good. Rooks are converging on the 8th rank. Feels close to a mating net. If rook f7, I play this, attacking the knight and threatening mate in 1. Oh, thank you, Tachikuma. Happy 19 months. Got the triple quack. Wow. That's interesting, but it should be fine. Wait. Maybe I play this. And then after this, I fork the knights with the king. I feel like the king is the least likely piece to deliver a fork. But it does sometimes happen. Oh, if I take, I get forked back. So let's start with a check. And then I'll take. Tricky, tricky. I think this is a nice instructive game to start the stream. Kind of a gradual positional build-up from the opening, and then got tactical, avoiding the potential knight forks. Thank you, El Pancakes. Happy 7 months. Okay. Yeah, felt pretty clean. Engine says I made a blunder here. Oh, rook d8 gives away the whole advantage. Because of knight takes e5. Wow. And if I take, I get forked. And if I play this, and black has enough pawns. Wow, so that could have been okay. Best move would have been g5. Yeah, keep this pawn defended. Okay, I let my guard down for a moment there. Anyway, let's move on. That was first game. I have a lot of chess to go. Over 2 hours left. 50th place. Make it 51st. Welcome back to Pizza Racer.
Very interesting to follow along your live commentary.
Oh, thank you.
Less than 3.
I'll try and keep it interesting. Okay, playing ComradeRed. I wanted to play Budapest. I have Jobava London. I'll play my usual against Jobava. Bishop g4, not the most common line. It may seem weird to essentially lose a tempo with the bishop. But in provoking f3, the knight can't develop as naturally in the position. And very often when white plays Jobava London, one of the main ideas is to play knight f3 to e5 and get some like strong pressure in the center. So going forward, now it's a matter of just developing. I'm usually okay playing e6 and keeping the bishop on d7, even though it looks passive. The bishop can be useful sometimes. And knight b5 doesn't really scare me. That's another benefit of like moving the bishop early is it frees the c8 square for the rook to defend against knight c7 threats. And a6 will come next. So it's actually white who's going to lose, I guess, a couple tempi moving the knight. b5 and back to b3. Now white could try like queen e2, and if I play a6, I get mated. So that's probably the one thing to be slightly aware of. Actually, if queen e2, I have to be very careful. Because if I move the bishop, still knight d6. Okay, queen e3, same idea. I think I might have to play this. Allow this and then trade. I actually don't see another like viable move here. Maybe there's queen a5 actually. Queen a5. Queen a5 c3. Is there a follow-up? It's kind of funny. Queen a5, c3, king d8. Looks ridiculous. Because I lose castling rights, but then the knight is awkward. Like a6 would come. I still like this better though, just e6. If white wants to play this, it's true I give away the bishop pair. White gets an annoying bishop in my crib. But I'll have the lead in development. And I should have initiative too, like queen b6 hitting this and this. There's some lines I'm calculating. Knight d6 takes. Queen b6 double attack. Castle queenside double defense. But then knight takes d4, discovered attack against the bishop, and probably winning a pawn. She not only discovered attack against the bishop, but discovered attack against c2 as well. So white's deciding, like, do they want to commit? Play bishop d6, that's interesting. Yeah, this could get really tactical. Looking at this, but then just queen takes. I want to take here, but wait a minute, does that work? Take, take. So I have queen a5, but there's b4. Okay, what to do? This comes to mind. Knight b4. Unleashing things. I mean, knight b4 threatens a triple fork. Probably provokes takes and takes. Honestly, that looks fine. Let's do it. So the knight's defended through like X-ray vision. This bishop defends the knight through the other bishop. So I get the bishop pair. And now I'm chilling. If c3, I just move back. Oh, a7's hanging. Okay, maybe not completely chilling. If I care about a7, I lose a pawn. I get the half open a file. It's still a fight. I should have good compensation. White's still completely undeveloped on the king side. Sorry if I've been drawing too many arrows. My deepest apologies. Queen e5. So still trying to make knight d6 work. Yeah, I think it's just time to castle. We'll still leave the pawn hanging. Oh, there's a question, are you live now? Yeah, sometimes during these games I stop looking at chat. But I am live on Twitch and YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, sometimes people watch like not quite in real time because you can easily rewind, unlike on Twitch. But for me, this is a present moment. For other people, this might be slightly in the past. Okay, so I'm down a pawn. What to do? Queen b6, a4. That's actually slightly annoying. I feel like I should have something. If I take first, I think that only helps white. Let's start with queen b6. Expecting this. I mean, I am considering after a4 takes, sack the queen, win the rook on a1, and then I'm down a queen for rook and bishop and pawn. Is there enough compensation? Because there is a pin on the first rank. I think that's a little bit too reckless. As much as I want to do it. Considering rook a5, Or even rook a6. So I guess first things first, what does white want to do? Is white threatening this? Take. Maybe. If I double up, there's like b3. Oh, what to do? Take. King f2. Say rook f8. How does white escape? Okay, I'm going to calculate this. So take. King f2, rook f8. Let's say g3. Rook a2. King g2. Take. I'm going to do it. I might regret this. But there's no going back. Just the pin looks really nice. The other rook comes in relatively quickly. And there's two ideas, actually. There's the idea of playing this and this. There's also the idea of playing this and this. And oh, I didn't see that idea for white. Okay, let's start with this. Ooh. Rook h3 is coming. Should be okay. Let's start with this. So if rook h3, I take knight e2 and then rook a2. If queen b8, bishop f8, there are lines where I lose b7, I win the knight, and then it's a question, can I checkmate before white queens a pawn? I'll have rook and two minor pieces for queen and a pawn, I guess. Oh, this is hanging though. Okay, so I'm winning back some material. White has a decision to make. So did I play rook a2? Allow that line? I think I do, because I can probably win the b pawn. Also, if I can take and trade off the two rooks for queen and knight, then it should be a relatively easy win. Interesting game. I'm excited to analyze this game. Let's see if the engine approves of my queen sacrifice. I'm feeling good here. Like if white goes for this, I can take and then I'll decide like if I have a mating net or if I just put the rook back on the b file and then go for the double up. Wow, first place has 15 points. I have some catching up to do. So I'm up a little bit of time now. Okay, now it's time to simplify. I'm pausing because there's like, yeah, the bishop d6 doesn't work at all. Yeah, let's simplify. I just want to play knight d6 and win the pawn. If b6 will have bishop d8. And white's rook is pretty out of it. Like if the rook was already on a1, then it would maybe be a different story. Yeah, just looking to achieve an ultra solid setup. King has breathing room. Do eventually want to win some pawns on the king side. Okay, so the king has a pathway into g4. And there's also some outpost squares for the knight. But I think the strategy is just to leave this setup as is. Because everything's defended. King defends a bishop, defends a knight, defends a pawn. The rook really can't do anything. c4 never works. Okay. It's a 3-course meal coming up. All right, opponent resigns. Yeah, real quick, let me just see this this moment. I do actually want to share a quick trap that if white plays bishop e2, after takes, looks like 2,500 players have walked into this. Knight c6 is a big mistake because of knight b5. And this is a double threat because the queen's already on the e-file. So because of this, black should play a6 first. What we got in the game was kind of similar, but yeah, the queen's not on the e-file, so I can play rook c8. And engine really likes black here. e6 best move. Going forward. So white could have taken the pawn immediately. Oh, hey, this is the best line. Yeah, initially I rejected this thinking it's too risky, but once you realize like it's hard for white to resolve the pin, then it does end up making sense. I thought maybe white would try this, but what was I going to do? I was going to play rook b1 here and then take, and then here and then here. I mean, white could maybe still try and survive, but the knight is awkward. The b pawn likely falls. Okay, so nice game. Engine says I played nearly perfectly. Maybe a couple inaccuracies. Back to tournament. I still have some catching up to do. 2 wins. I actually dropped places. My games have been maybe a bit longer compared to average, but 2 instructive games to start the stream. Playing GrandMiner. No berserking. I want to do something different. Let's play French. Let's do a French attack. I'll play the chess mood repertoire. Yeah, knight g8. This is a Kinder surprise. Had a lesson several months ago with Grandmaster Papa-Ticulat. We actually had 2 lessons, one on the French attack and then one on the Dutch attack. But it's a whole black repertoire involving e6 on move 1. And yeah, the reason for bringing the knight back to g8 is to reroute to f5. In the standard line, the knight goes to d7, where it's a little bit less harmonious with the overall structure. And usually players who play this as white are used to playing bishop e3, reinforce the center, but bishop e3 gets hit with knight f5. So even though I spend a lot of time moving the knight up to 4 times in the opening, I could win back some time if white has to move the bishop a couple times. So h3. Signifying g4, but I'm happy to play knight f5. And now there's ideas of knight g3. There's also ideas of taking, eventually knight c6. Yeah, we're 7 moves into the game. More than half my moves have involved moving the same knight. So it's maybe not the best demonstration of like classical opening principles. But this is such a line where sometimes it's okay to break the rules. Now I have a decision. Do I go after the bishop? And this is usually one of white's best pieces. I mean, taking also looks nice. Actually, yeah, let's take. There's a nice inclusion. After takes, I don't take back immediately. I play queen h4 check. Force white to bong cloud. And then I take back. If takes, queen h4, there'd be queen f2. So the in-between move is actually pretty important. Yeah, this already looks like very good for black. This knight lived a good life. Okay, the bong cloud has been forced. I see the super chat. Thank you to Brick and Roll Pod. Hey Eric, can you share a unique tournament story? I'll have to think about something. I'm sure I can, but let me focus on this game first, and at some point something I'm sure will come to mind. I don't really want to trade queens, because then it's equal material. I guess I do get some initiative there. And the alternative is like queen d8. I mean, I guess trading queens actually makes some sense. And then check. King still is a bit awkward. Let's do it. If bishop e3, I have d4 with a fork. Oh man, a unique tournament story. When I was younger, I was playing like some classical tournament, and I got hiccups during the game. I think I was like maybe 12 or 13 years old. And the hiccups lasted for like a solid hour, and it was disturbing many people in the room, and I felt really bad. But my opponent was wearing like military grade earplugs. My opponent didn't seem disturbed, but yeah, I just couldn't stop hiccuping. I forget how I did in that game. But it's been a long time since I last had the hiccups. I'm not sure if that's something you kind of grow out of. I guess it's something I'm grateful for. Okay, knight d4. Knight d4, bishop e3 gets kind of weird. Oh, knight b4. Am I just winning a pawn? There's knight b5. Ooh, it could get spicy. Take. Yada yada. I save my knight. I think that works actually. Yeah, there's a line where like both knights wind up in the corner. But because my king will be covering c7, white's knight should be trapped. And my knight should escape via c2, I think. I'm sorry if that was not the most uplifting story, but hopefully it's unique. Okay, I missed knight a4. That's a move. So if I play this, then c3. But then knight c2, rook b1, b5, trapping the knight? My knight might also get trapped, but like on c2, it's not immediately easy for white to attack. So one more time, c3, knight c2, rook b1, b5. Knight prevents bishop e3. Okay, c4. Could take it. Yeah, taking looks fine. It's possible c4 was one of the best moves, though. Because here I'm not trapping the knight. Actually, b5 is not good for me, because my b-pawn is now pinned. But I win the c-pawn. I have the d3 square now for the knight. I'm trying to think of other unique tournament stories. I played Emery Tate 4 times in like US rated slow games. And he beat me 4 out of 4. One of the games was like really hard fought. And he won like in a beautiful manner. And he told me after the game that it takes 2 to make a masterpiece. It made me feel slightly better. Okay, so knight d3. Just not sure what the knight's doing on d3. Like after b3, maybe I can start with this. Because if white takes, then I'll be attacking the bishop and the knight. If white plays this, I probably have time for like rook b8, b5, or even castle queenside. I forgot, like, I still have castling rights on both sides. It's the type of position where the king might want to stay in the center because the rooks are useful on their respective sides. But it's also true that d file is the only fully open file. And castling would be multi-purpose and getting the rook into play and defending the pawn. Okay, I thought this wins material for me. I think just a miscalculation from my opponent. Okay, I'll hop in with the knight. There are some potential mating ideas. Like if the rook moves here, I take, and then check, and then checkmate. That will be discovered checkmate on the H file. Okay. Actually, relatively quick finish there. Like you'd imagine that black is pretty far away from mate here, but the bishops harmonize nicely. Back to tournament. A nice, another nice instructive game. The French attack. Thank you, TGOX. Happy 9 months. Okay, so if you're just joining, I've played 3 games this stream, trying to have fun, teach a thing or two, also maybe trying to do well in this tournament. In 34th place. Hour and 40 minutes to go. Okay, I haven't been berserking, but let's berserk. Let's play aggressively. Gonna play a probably reverse Grand Prix attack. White is playing an English opening. Sometimes it can be risky to commit to e4 and c4. Not only because it weakens the d4 square, but in cases like this, white is maybe already in some trouble. Although it's interesting, it kind of resembles a fried liver. If I take, yeah, let's take. And check. Yeah, very similar to kind of a fried liver type line. Hey, it's gifted subs from Harkier. Thank you, thank you. Gifting 10. If you were gifted a sub, you can say thank you. Or use the thank you emote. Okay, let's keep applying pressure here. Can take... I don't really want to trade queens. Take queen e2. I think taking the pawn is best, though. If bishop e2, I'll continue to have fun. Ooh. It's actually interesting, because if I play d3, it's really just a trade of bishops. I might lose a pawn in the process. I have this move. And castle. Okay, let's take the bishop first. If knight takes, I win the rook. If queen takes, then I play this. And the knight is pinned to the rook. Okay, well here, yeah, no mercy. I have this. Defending. Preparing some nastiness. I'm threatening this, this, and then this. That actually defends against my threat. So I'll play this. Get the bishop into play. It feels close to mate. But now, okay, this. Knight defends a pawn. I'm trying to win efficiently. Okay, so knights are superfluous. I'm threatening bishop g4. No mercy. Not seeing the force mate, but I'll keep winning material. Get the bishop in. Oh, wait. Okay, no, I didn't miss. For a moment, I thought I missed knight f3, but queen was covering f3. Nom nom. Oops. Oh, I don't have any checks. Okay, I lose the knight. Let's check. Get the pawn involved. Okay, GG. Yeah, this does have a name. Like e4 and c4 is called the Bofinic setup. Generally, if you want to play e4, it's better to start with like g3, bishop g2, and then later develop like this in castle. I actually used to play that as white. Back to tournament. Top 20. My first Berserk win. $95 to go. Oh, Happysanta. Remember that name. Oh, Bruins is asking, why do you almost always play London as white in Title Tuesday, but your OTB repertoire seems a lot more flexible? Yeah, that's a good question. London is the opening I know best, like I'm most prepared in. And in Title Tuesday, players don't, let's play English. Players don't have time to prepare for me. So there's a lot of lines that maybe come as surprise, or have more surprise value. In OTB, let's play the floor mechanists. Kind of a unique variation to the English. Yeah, in OTB, players have more time to prepare for me. So if I play London, it's more likely they'd be like thoroughly prepared. Okay, this is some mainline. Queen e2. To be honest, I haven't looked at this one in a while. I think white is supposed to be slightly better. End up taking here. Yeah, we trade. Oh, for some reason I thought I was playing Happysanta. I saw number 1, and I just assumed, oh, it's Happysanta, but it's someone else. It's Sumpor. Okay. Wow, joined 10 years ago. I also joined lichess 10 years ago. I have to sneeze. Okay. I forgot to take my allergy medicine today. What to do? Anyway, okay. I should probably develop. Bishop g5 looks like the only reasonable square. Probably reroute to g3. I want to get the rooks involved. White should be slightly better here, because black has a nice e-pawn. Opponent's still playing very quickly. But this could be kind of a longer positional game. Looks like a very pleasant position for me. It's nice having the bishop over defending f2. Although maybe I have to worry about this. There's 94, should be fine. And there's a plan of rook e2 and rook ae1. Okay, the knight has potential. Yeah, these squares look juicy. If I get to play knight e5, then like the pawn could be a target. There's fork potential. And not to mention just the long-term pressure against e6. Should keep in mind the resource b4. There might be cases where, like, if bishop e6 happens, then I win a pawn. Like here, b4. So then if bishop e6, I win the exchange. Bishop e7 looks forced. And then check, king g7. Yeah, maybe not seeing the immediate knockout. Looks good though. Could start with check. Having a hard time calculating further. I could start with rook d1 too. I'm not seeing a forcing line. I didn't want to commit to this if it doesn't actually like win anything concretely. I'd rather keep a bit more tension. Rook d1 is just so natural too. It seems like black's a little bit stuck. Knight moves anywhere, I have 95 to win the pawn. If this pawn moves, I win this pawn. Opponent resigns. Okay, yeah, it's not a pleasant position, but resigning is, I mean, definitely premature. I was thinking rook d8 might be the best way to just try and neutralize. Engine says, yeah, 1.5. Rook d8. It's actually a little bit unfortunate. Like, we don't see how the game unfolds. I do want to share a brief story behind this line. So I'm pretty sure this exact position was reached in the US Women's Championship. I forget what year. It was at least 5 years ago. Playing white was Irina Krush. Playing black was Jennifer Yu. And the game went bishop takes e6. And Jennifer played pawn takes e6. I guess the game hasn't made the database. Also, I did have an OTB game in this back in 2019. But pawn takes is a huge blunder because white can win material. And I'm pretty sure Irina Krush played knight f3 missing the tactic. The tactic is queen h5 winning the bishop. So just a useful thing to know, or at least spot in the position. Anyway, back to tournament. Top 10. But people are saying bishop d6 would win. Did I miss something? Oh, I had bishop d6 here. Good point. I didn't consider bishop d6. I was so fixated on this and then just decided let's do something simple. But this is just crushing because you have take, I fork. Okay. I guess I have to work on... What's the thing I have to work on? Maybe considering more candidate moves. Being more tactically aware. Now I'm playing Happysanta. Let's play another French. I was happy with the previous French. Okay, we have another Kinder Surprise. Did I play this against Happysanta last time? Looks like I played a Stafford Gambit against Happysanta last time. Okay, so this time we see the line with the bishop moving. Go into this. So I could take. So I remember pretty vividly that Avatique showed me this and then this. I guess it's a question. Like after takes, what's the follow-up? Because if I play this, there's maybe this. It's probably not a big deal though. And this might be my one chance to trade knight for bishop. Let's do it. And eventually I want to get bishop c5 in. If I play rook c8, I don't think I'm too concerned about queen a7. There's queen a5 as well. Queen a5, I guess, makes a little bit more sense. And eventually rook c8 should be played. So I'm preparing bishop c5. Although, wow, bishop c4. I was going to say, maybe I want to play this and this. Bishop c4 is interesting. I can't take because I get mated. I guess white wants to play this. I think I should start with bishop c5. See where the queen goes. There's queen b6. Queen b6, king b1, bishop e3. There's rook e1, rook e1 castle. Take a moment here. Let's apply the lesson to learn from the previous game. Identify the candidate moves. Because bishop c6 also makes a lot of sense. Simply attacking the bishop. If bishop e3, then d4 is interesting. Not sure if it leads to much. There's also this, and then queen b6. Let's say rook e1, a5. Okay, I like starting with this. I think the bishop's more useful here. Again, d4. d4 seems unnecessary. And yeah, this is multi-purpose. I threaten this, and I prepare this. Wow. I guess that's playable. To be honest, I was kind of oblivious to that even being a candidate move. Now I have the choice. Like, I could trade queens, I could take, and then Bong Cloud. I think I'd probably taken Bong Cloud. I do concede the bishop pair in both lines. Take. Okay. f5 is a concern. There's queen b4, and I play queen b4 and play extra positionally. Can't allow f5. There's this and then take. I should actually consider this seriously. Queen e2, take. Thing is, this might help white more than it helps me. I'm gonna play this. Given the time situation, I want like a more simplified position to play where I can be a bit more in control. Bishop e3 maybe was better there, but I think there's still a lot of life in this endgame. And the plan should be relatively straightforward too. I want this structure. A little bit surprised white's thinking here, because oh, maybe there's bishop b3 to consider. Okay, c4. So if I take, there's rook d7. That's actually a good move. I miss c4. I have to play this. Take with the rook. Yeah, to be honest, not so happy with this transformation. Gotta do what I gotta do. The good news is my king is more active. And I have a passed pawn. It's the only passed pawn on the board. Bad news is this pawn is going to be a target. It might be more of a weakness than a strength. I have f6. Yeah, it's simplifying a little bit too quick for my liking, but what to do? At least there's no rook e1. If anything, I'm probably slightly worse here. Unfortunately. Life still goes on. a3, bishop b7. We could end up trading everything. Wow, really? So I played this? It's a surprise. I guess this kind of works. Huh. And this? It gets interesting. Again, I have the more active king. These positions can be very deceiving. Because when you see like off-the-card bishops, you just assume it should be a draw. But sometimes it's more of a 3-result game. I am taking some risk with this move. f6. The idea is king here. And actually, the nice thing about opposite-colored bishops is with the f8 square, I'm always going to be controlling it with rook and bishop. So the f-pawn shouldn't be much of a threat. I'm still concerned about my time because this game could last a while longer. Take bishop e6. d4. Bishop e6, d4, b4. What? Take. No comprendo. Oh, if I take, there's that. Okay, so if take, f7. So take f7, rook f8, take here. King pawn ending's winning. Yeah, white's threatening to take on d5, so I have to play this. I guess I could play king f7. I don't think it makes a huge difference. Now I'll be up a pawn after he takes king f6. There's an important point. If, let's say, takes king f6, rook check, I don't take the pawn immediately, because then check wins back the pawn. But I'll play king g7. So after rook d7, I can take and defend. There's rook f1, but then the king has this route. Yeah, this would be the trickiest move. So this is... Once I win the pawn, then I have a 2-on-1. White's king is very out of it. This king reminds me of Santa in May. Just sitting, chilling in the North Pole. Christmas time is approaching. I'm feeling better, time-wise as well. Ooh. Okay, so take and take. Feels like it should be straightforward, but I guess we'll see. This. I didn't want the pawn to get too far to allow for like rook b7 ideas. My idea is to play this and then start walking up. I could have checked. Could I have checked? I probably could have checked. Won the pawn. Maybe that's still the way to go. I can defend too. Yeah, this should be winning. Tricky. Let's play this. I think the rook will actually defend passively, and then it's going to take a while for the king to walk up. I don't think it matters what I start with. Oh, maybe it does. Oh dear, did I mess up? Oh, I may have messed up. No, it should be fine, I think. I'm not sure now. Eventually the rook will come here. There is a case where I need to underpromote. Trying to remember the keyboard shortcut. I want to play this. Oh dear. This. Oh, it's a draw. Oh, I think it's a draw. Okay. It's going to be a draw. Unless something crazy dirty happens. Oh no, I lost this. Or no, did I? I have this. Okay. For a moment, I thought I was losing because of this. And if I play this, it's losing. But there's king a6. And then it's okay. Right? Here? Yeah, this is fine. Okay. GG. My rook got passive. So I misplayed this. Only win is h3. If this I can take. No, I can't. Because the pawn's not quick enough. King e2. How is this different? I guess the rook can't get back in time. So the rook's misplaced. Okay. Yeah, very tricky endgame. I'm regretting not going for my original idea, just rook f5 and then pushing. Probably should be much simpler. Good game though. Did my best to try and grind the win. Yeah, it was very equal position, and then yeah, white kind of misplayed, but eventually held on. So back to tournaments. Still over an hour left. Having a lot of instructive games today. There's a question. Hey Eric, do you have a book or resource recommendation for middle game attacking ideas? There's a book I had growing up called The Art of Attack. I forget the author, but if you Google it, it has a red cover. Was it by Larry Christensen? Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's by Vladimir Vukovic. Oh, maybe is this a person known for the Vukovic Gambit and the Ponziani? Anyway, that's the first book that comes to mind. F3. Well, no Budapest for me. Let's play D5. F3 maybe is trying to achieve some fantasy variation. So, I mean, I think I'll just play like a Queen's Gambit declined, and the general rule in Queen's Pawn openings, if white plays F3, then C5 is generally the move you want to go for. I think I'll do it right away. Yeah, the knight is not on its usual developing square. I could take with queen or pawn. I'll take with queen. Although, if I take with queen, there's takes, knight c3. I guess I should take with pawn. A bit more principled. Okay, so the position opens up a ton. I'm attacking b2. White takes a pawn on d5. So I could start with a check. I could also just take on b2 right away. Both moves look good. Let's start with a check. I was calculating knight d2, queen b2, rook b1, then I take. Rook d8 on tap. I still want to try and play a Ponziani this stream. I guess the last white game I played in English. But I'm doing my best to mix up the openings a little bit. And white is already in pretty big trouble here. 3 attackers, only 2 defenders. Oh, bishop d3. Okay, so castling would lose. Queen c3. Queen c3 or queen a3? Hey, thank you for the raid. Genre chess, appreciate it. If you're just joining, we have about an hour left in the daily Rapid Arena. Been having some very instructive games today. Trying to get the job done in this position. Very close to winning something. Okay, I win the bishop. And the knight will remain pinned. Okay, relatively quick win. Ooh, Art Vega in first place. Berserk winning every game. Wow. So Art Vega is not berserking the current game? It's been a long time since I won one of these tournaments. I have been playing more of these daily Rapid Arenas. Let's not berserk. I'll still play quickly though. I would have played a Ponziani if my opponent went for mainline e5. We have e6. Go for a more traditional Grand Prix attack. Knight f6. I think in this case e5 is fine. Okay. Yeah, something a little bit different looking. I'm feeling good. Head in development. And the main point of bishop e5 is to take and double black's pawns. Play d3. Nothing too crazy. Thinking g4 here. Which maybe looks slightly crazy. The idea is just to prevent knight f5. And the knight's a bit stuck on the edge. And even though my king's a bit airy, it's not easy for black to exploit. I have to watch out for this idea. I could take the knight right away. But there's no rush. Like, the knight's not going anywhere. I'll play this. I wouldn't mind getting in c4. Okay, here the knight might want to go somewhere. So this might be my last chance to take. And yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Queen d2 next. Yeah, black's king side is crumbling a bit. Queen h6, rook g8. Still requires some, maybe some precision, but this, I mean, this looks great. If takes, then knight g5. Here I can take on h5. I would have liked to go in with the knights, but have to be a little bit patient. f7's hanging. And there's rook d1. Outlining with the queen. Okay. Let's take a moment here, because this is slightly annoying. It feels so close to winning. Knight g5. So knight g5. If takes rook d2 wins. If takes takes. I guess there's takes, and then I don't think I can afford that. And there's also this. Take and then knight d2. Bishop a6. Let's do it. I didn't fully calculate this, but relying on some intuition. Bishop b4. Yeah, I want to take, but it's not actually threatening mate. I have this. Rook f2 might be the simplest move. Bishop still attacked. Bishop a6. If I take, there's rook f8. If I take this way, then take, and then rook f2. Bishop f4, king g2. That's gotta be good. Let's do it. I'm feeling some fatigue. I feel like my calculations are a bit slower. It's also just a weird position. So here, king g2. The queen and both bishops are attacked, expecting queen g6. Now we'll trade, and then resulting ending, it's actually equal material. Okay, here I can take the thing. Oh, there's a funny line. Okay, let's take the thing. If here the funny line is takes, which I actually don't know if that works. Okay, queen takes. I think it works. So rook g5, I take the pawn, queen takes, and then I take here. We could trade queens. Okay, rook f8. Yeah, it's a weird position. It's equal material. I'm not actually creating that many problems for black. I maybe misplayed this. And there's rook f7. And we trade. Wow. Okay, so I have this. Taking first doesn't make any sense. Now I'm threatening this. So queen d3, I just take. The queen is overworked. There is a line. Yeah. Now queen d3 is maybe more feasible. Does that work? No. Does it? Wait. Take. Here, here, here. Oh my gosh. It's scary. Wait, but I have king h1. King h1, there's just one check. But there's also rook g... Oh no, rook g2, queen h1. Oh yeah, this and this should be both winning. So this, and then this. Just be extra sure. I'll go for this. Yeah, it looks it does look scary. But the queen defends a knight, the knight defends g1. The rook's ready to block the check. And then eventually the king will be the main victim, hopefully. Yeah, I definitely misplayed this somewhere, but getting the job done. Yeah, mate is pretty much unstoppable. Black could delay the game. We still got some time left. 48 minutes to go. 7th place. Should I try and make a run for it? 13 points out of first. Okay, let's berserk. Ponziani time. Ooh, double berserk. Okay. So it's a blitz game. Scandinavian time. Let's play this one. I decline the Gambit. Leave the pawn tension. Wow. So Black insists on gambiting, which I don't mind. Up a pawn. Nice space. Considering d5 here. Let's do it. Queen e2. Queen e2 almost works. Let's start with h3. Okay, there's knight d4. Already a lot of pressure. I take and queen f3. I'm looking for the knockout. Feels close. Yeah, there's 95. Maybe queen a4. Because queen f3, knight e5 was kind of annoying. Can I take that? Looks playable. Maybe slightly risky. So I allow this and then this. And then the rook's attacked. Hmm. Just bishop e2. Queen c2 is kind of annoying. Just let it be. I'm up 2 pawns, so I just want a castle, get the king save. Not lose material. I have queen b5 here. Queen a6 is maybe more stable. Yeah, queen a6. It could still be tricky. Should probably give a pawn. Castle, take. And the rook can't take immediately because c8 would hang. I probably want to play knight h4 next. Just simplify a bit. Even still knight h4. Knight h4. Let's do it. Queen will move. Yeah, it looks like we'll be trading down. Oh. Have to be a little bit careful. Yeah, I really got to up the tempo. Still should have enough time. The next few moves should be very natural. Let's get the rooks in. Look to simplify more. I might pick up another pawn. There's queen takes e5. Or rook takes e5. Start with this. I don't want to be too greedy. b3. Interesting. Yeah, that's a fork. Also, the rook's hanging. Probably should have spotted that a move sooner. Okay. Got the job done. 5th place. So this player who I beat, they've actually played more games than like everyone else, I think. At least in the top 6. This person also playing a lot of games. So we got time for probably at least 3 more games. Still maybe a question how much I want to berserk. But I guess I'll keep berserking. Try and increase the tournament standing. I still want to try and play a Ponziani. Haven't had a Budapest either. Stafford Gambit time. I told myself, okay, no Stafford. We have a King's Gambit, a Falkbeer Countergambit. I was going to say I told myself beforehand I would not play a Stafford today, but sometimes it's hard to resist the urge. Yeah, so this is a line where black sacks the pawn early, tries to get a quick lead in development. If takes, there's some attacking ideas. If knight c3, I play bishop b4. So it's a good sign white's thinking here. Yeah, this is all still prep. Deflect the bishop and then win the d5 pawn. And white doesn't really have any other option. I guess there's queen e2, though. It's probably what my opponent's considering. Queen e2 is interesting. Queen e2, take. If I take here, the bishop goes back with check. But it doesn't happen. And queen e2 is still a consideration. So making back some time for berserking. 9 seconds off my clock. Yeah, these are the 3 candidate moves. And going forward, I just want to develop quickly, apply pressure, maybe try and win back a pawn. Queen f6 makes a lot of sense. Double attack. And white has to choose like which pawn to give. Or maybe he could make me choose. Like if knight f3, then I have to decide. c3 looks a little bit more juicy. Hitting the bishop and queen. If takes, then white probably loses casting rights. That's interesting. So if I take, there's queen b2. I'm more inclined to just play this, keep the pressure. I guess c4. Let's start with rook e8. Follow my intuition. And there's bishop g4 potential. I was beginning to calculate c4, and then I realized like it's not worth burning too much time. We see king f2, so now I think it makes sense to take. So I won back the pawn. I have much safer king. A lot of pressure on white's position. There's this move. I don't think it quite works. Also, queen d4 is similar. I think just knight c6. I wanted to go a bit more crazy there, but still need to develop my pieces. Calculating knight e2. I mean, white doesn't have too many ways to develop. Like knight e2 seems like the most natural, but it would give me initiative. If I can take, knight d4 making a threat. And there's also the option of moving. No, I can't move back. Is there the option of sacking? That's actually interesting. Knight e2, take, and then take. So I would sack the rook, but then bishop g4, king f1 or f2. Let's say king f2. Maybe it's not enough. Looks close though. Opponent's burning a lot of time. I'm down only a minute. Knight e2. Take. Could start with knight d4. I really just want to have a move ready for knight e2. And just take a knight d4. a4, unexpected. Okay. Queen d4. I think I just got to develop the bishop. White is maybe threatening some queen a3. That should be okay though. Let's develop the bishop. Yeah, if queen a3 or rook a3, I have the option of knight d5, allow bishop d5, and then queen d4 to win it back. I'm happy the rooks are connected. There's a plan of doubling on the e-file. There's also a line like queen d4, there's king f1. Take. Queen d4. I think I just do this. Yeah, at first it looks like I'm blundering a piece, but it would be a trade. Probably a good trade for me. Time is leveling. White doesn't have to take. Like, there's still 92. And then... yeah, maybe it's not so easy to attack. Actually, calculating rook takes e2. There's a few branches. Knight e2, rook e2, king e2, knight d4, king d1. Calculate bishop e2. Let's do it. Intuitive decision. So if this, I think it's enough. And if this, then at the very least I have queen d4, knight f4. Sacking the rook. I have a feeling this game might be determined by time. But I'm hoping to get a winning position too. Knight d4. Yeah, king d1. I should probably take the bishop. But there's this. Which is interesting. How does white defend? Oh, there's c4. And then take, and then take. Okay. That's actually more like long-term compensation. White is probably objectively okay here. But it seems difficult to play. Like, pieces are not super active or coordinated. I'm threatening this and this. Queen side down to the rook. I have this. Rook g3. Okay, let's start with this. Ooh. Probably should not have allowed that. I'll play the endgame down the exchange. And this. And there's still positional compensation. Time is probably going to tell the story. Okay, got the job done. Maybe not in the cleanest manner. Engine is not so fond of the exchange sack. Bishop g4 I didn't consider. That's a cool move. But back to tournament. I'm in third place. 10 points out of first. Here we go. So I need at least 2 more Berserk wins. Art Vega's on a streak though. But playing Sumpor, okay, so I guess one of the players are guaranteed points. So opening strategy might depend who I play next. I play this person, although they're offline. Looks like, oh, could play this person too. Okay, waiting for the next game. Yep, playing this person. Let's Berserk. Let's play e4. Ponziani time. F6 is the best move. So opponent knows theory. It's bishop c4. Yeah, this is one of the sharper lines in Ponziani. It is objectively good for black if black knows what they're doing. But I'll still try and get a game. Expecting the queen to move back. So b5 I can take. Thinking queen b3 here. Though I will admit I'm out of opening prep. Queen b3. It feels risky. Knight a5, bishop f7. Potentially risky for both of us. I'm also sacking a pawn, potentially. But this is a major idea. So this might be the most natural. I'll take on e5. We trade a bit. Yeah, the one drawback in Ponziani is sometimes the queen side is a bit more difficult to develop on c3. However, I think I'm managing. Knight e4, queen g6. Yeah, it's weirdly annoying. Knight g5. Actually very annoying. Wow. Calculating queen g6, bishop d5. It looks kind of risky. So I allow this. I allow that too. Queen d1. Hmm. How does this work? To play this? Oh dear. I may have gone wrong. Although, okay. Yeah, queen actually doesn't have any squares. I have to play this. I burned a lot of time there. It's still super tricky. Like bishop h3, bishop g5. Really hard to calculate. Queen f. So c6, queen f3. Take, take. Maybe it's playable. c6 immediately. I think I have to play bishop g5. So I hit the knight. The pawn's also attacked. Could take the pawn. Yeah, objectively, it's still probably worse for me. I could take this pawn, actually. I have a feeling black had some opportunity there. Probably keep queens on the board. Oh, let's trade. I'll move quicker. It's a tall task. Time, situation, position. Yeah, this bishop pair is kind of annoying. Knight d5 almost. Okay, that's what I want. I do. Yeah. Felt like I had some chances. I should note the reason why I don't take on h4 is... Okay, bishop e7 here, but earlier there was another trick. I realized it like just in time. Because originally I was going to take, but there's bishop g3. I thought this is losing because I got forked, but apparently it's playable for white. Maybe the best line. Yeah, I didn't manage my time well enough. Opening was actually okay. I got into trouble around here. Yeah, knight a5 is super strong. But then my opponent, I think, gave me some chances to come back. Okay, back to tournament. Not much time left. I'll try and get in one more game. Yeah, I don't think my chances of taking first are at all realistic anymore. But such is life. Top 5 is still within reach. Okay. Can I redeem my Ponziani? We would need e5. Or maybe I play some other opening, like Belgrade. I play Belgrade. Depends what black plays. Okay, let's go for Belgrade. I wonder if my opponent would have played Staff or Gambit there. So the Belgrade Gambit stems from a 4-knight Scotch. But I don't take back. I play knight d5. And this is it's a line that isn't super common. And to be honest, I don't know too much theory. I assume bishop g5 is the way to go. I take on e7. That's already interesting. Take. I'm gonna play this. Didn't want to trade dark square bishops. I'm sacking a pawn potentially, but I think black has to be careful in taking it. Takes, there's knight b5. Oh, I was about to blunder a knight. Oh dear. Wait, knight b5? Yeah, maybe still works. Oh, it could just be a pawn trade. So takes, rook b8. Or this, okay. Wow. I think white's winning a pawn. After the trade, take back with bishop, support c6. Bishop g5. I have to be careful. Take first, and then queen g4. Some danger levels. Take, take, queen g4. There's takes, takes, and queen e2. Maybe that's the way to go. Also looks a little bit dangerous. Actually, g2's hanging. Okay, I feel like I've committed. If I lose g2... Uh-oh. Wait, if taking doesn't work. It's actually a strong move. f3. Oh dear, I'm in trouble. With f4? Oh no. I'm actually in a lot of trouble here. f4 doesn't work. Take, 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 take. f3, rook e8. Then I take. Yeah, this is big trouble. I gotta go for this. Not what I want. Okay, I have another pickle to work my way out of. Oh no, my queen. So how bad is this? I'll have rook and bishop for queen. Pawns should stay equal. Rook a2. Wow, what a move. Does that work? That's crazy if it works. I think that does work. Oh my gosh. I can't take his queen c1 mate. I have f4 maybe? No, f4 doesn't work at all. I have to castle? That's a great move. I have to castle. Yeah, well played. There goes all my things. Rook a2 was a great find. Let's try and resist a little bit. You never know. Never resign when you have two rooks. Wow. Nice move. Never resign when you have one rook. I would have liked to not have pawns. Any tricks? There is a potential. There is some potential. I'm calculating it. Take. What to do? Ooh. Wait, what? It's a draw. It's a draw. Do I have enough time? Oh, very, very strange finish. I think my opponent was just trying to flag me. I'm not sure what exactly happened there. Okay. Well, that's the end of the tournament. Pairings are closed. I guess there's a few seconds left of the tournament. A very interesting finish. I think overall there were some instructive games today. Maybe the quality of my play decreased over the 2.5 hours, but still had some fun. Congratulations, kingOfficiale. Looks like we'll be winning the tournament. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap things up. I'm still kind of debating if I'll play 3-0 Thursday, although I did schedule the stream on YouTube, so I'll probably, at the very least, play the morning 3-0 Thursday. Yesterday in Title Tuesday, there was like some server issue in the middle of the final round that caused a lot of players, including myself, to like just forfeit and lose on time. And chess.com hasn't addressed it. So I'm a little bit hesitant to play more tournaments given the technical issues, but I think I'll at least play one of the 3-0 Thursdays tomorrow. And then maybe come back for some rapid chess at some point. I'm still due for a viewer challenge stream too, so stay tuned. Oops. Stay tuned for more chess. And I'll be back soon. Adios.